We're back on the East Coast, another cracking, beautiful, gorgeous day down here. Everything we're using here is basically cured or preserved for this pasta. So we've got some pancetta and some salami, so 2 cured meats that if you've got in your fridge will stay there for a while and you think, oh, what do I do with the last few slices of salami or the last few slices of pancetta? Sun-dried tomatoes. Most people have got a jar or a container of sun-dried tomatoes in their fridge. And then passata. So just a jar of tomato puree, or you could have tomato paste or tinned tomatoes. Everyone's pretty much got something like that in their fridge. I'm going to bring them all together and make a bit of a really basic cream tomato-based sauce, and then add our pasta on top of it. So with these, with the sort of leftover, this is like 3 or 4 slices and 4 or 5 slices of our salami. It's just enough to break them down so that they can go into our little food processor. So just into sort of 2 centimetre pieces, 2 centimetre dice. So we'll pop that in. I'm going to make a mince out of that, out of those leftover. If you had bacon, you've got some leftover bacon in the fridge, you can do that. Then I'm going to add, same sort of thing, I'm going to chop up our sun-dried tomatoes, just roughly chop those. And then pop them in there as well, so that'll become part of our mince. So I'll pop all of our chopped sun-dried tomato in as well. Then we'll put our lid on. I'm going to blitz that up to make our mince paste. Put a little bit of oil in there as well, just to help loosen it up. Lid on. All right, so we've got this beautiful mince. So you can see that in there. This awesome sort of mixture of our minced sun-dried tomatoes, our minced salami, and our minced pancetta. Like I said, if you've got cabana, bacon, cabanossi, any of those sorts of things, throw them in and break them up as well. Okay, we start getting our pan ready or to make our sauce. My pasta is cooking inside on the stovetop, so I'm using the penne. And then I'll add that pasta to our sauce at the end, bringing some of that pasta water over so that will help thicken our sauce up a little bit. A little bit of oil. Pop in our mince. So I'm going to set that on a low temperature and just bring that heat in, start rendering some of that out and start cooking it off. And then I'm going to add, once I've got that, I'm going to add in my tomato passata, which is this here, just our tomato puree. I'm going to reduce that right down by about half, I reckon, before, and then I'll taste it and make sure it's got all the salt that I want. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to add as much cream as I need to add to get the balance right between the acidity of the tomato and the creaminess of the cream. Once I'm happy with that, then we'll put our pasta on top. So we give this a few more minutes, add in my passata and reduce that down. So I've reduced that passata down to what's almost now, it's fairly similar to a tapenade, is what you'd say. So I'm going to add in some of my cream. I want to add about half of this. I don't want too much. Stir that in. All right. Give that a taste. Probably a little bit more cream. So I might just let that tick away and simmer for about 5 minutes, and then I'll bring my pasta out. I've mixed all of my pasta in there and put a fair bit of pasta water in there just to thicken any of the wet pools that were going to be in that sauce. Will have now sort of soaked up that starch and will be nice and thick. Add some black pepper. Shouldn't need much salt, just because the cured things that we put in there are going to be quite salty on their own. So now, put it together. You can see how much this makes. Once you break down that sun-dried tomato, those cured meats, there's so much flavour in there that it goes a long way out of it. So there's enough pasta here that you could feed 4 people happily, even probably 6, off really not a lot that was left over in your fridge. It's just using all of those really intense ingredients like the sun-dried tomato, the salami and the pancetta to drive the flavours through the pasta so it stretches a long way. And it's just even if you didn't have those things in your cupboard, this is a pasta worth going out and buying them, and buy some nice salami, buy some nice speck, buy some good sun-dried tomatoes, because they'll go even further on and it'll just increase the quality and the flavour in the dish.